There was a time when I would have thought this headline was strange, possibly a misprint or something from The Onion. But alas, it is the current year, and so I just nodded my head and said, yep, that's completely normal. This ruling was handed down a couple of weeks ago and pertains to an incident that happened more than a year ago at the BrewDog bar in Cardiff, in which a one Dr. Thomas Bauer, pictured here in all fedora-wearing glory, tried to buy a beer and was refused on account of his gender. You see, Dr. Bauer tried to purchase BrewDog's pink IPA, which was offered at a discounted price of £4 for customers who identify as female. The 27-year-old said that after a back and forth with the bartender, he felt forced to identify as female so that he could purchase the drink. Now, I know there's some kind of joke here, I'm just too lazy to figure out what it is. Bauer subsequently complained to the company, who insisted he had not experienced sex discrimination because the price difference was part of a national campaign to raise awareness about the completely and utterly meaningless gender pay gap. The drink was launched ahead of International Women's Day as part of BrewDog's Beer for Girls campaign, which aimed to expose sexist marketing to women, particularly within the beer industry. According to BrewDog, the pink IPA was their overt parody on the failed tone-deaf campaigns that some brands have attempted in order to attract women. And here's a tweet from the company in March of 2018 launching the beer. So they are attempting to lampoon the stereotype that all women like pink by making the label pink. Now, I don't work in marketing and never have, but I think if you have to put hashtag sarcasm after your sarcastic remark, then perhaps the message isn't as clear as you want it to be. And if you're going to go full woke, you might want to read up on the rules, because using the word girls interchangeably with women is now considered a sexist term, according to the wokerati. Now, back to Dr. Bauer's story. He wasn't satisfied with the response and decided to take BrewDog to court, where he claimed for damages and an apology for direct discrimination and breach of the Equality Act of 2010. In a transcript of the court proceedings, District Judge Phillips said, "In my judgment, it is clear that in this case the claimant has been directly discriminated against by the defendant because of his sex. The fact that by identifying as female he was still able to purchase a pink IPA makes no difference. I accept what Dr. Bauer says, namely that identifying as female was the only way he could purchase a pink IPA at a cost of £4. Mr. Phillips added that Dr. Bauer would have felt humiliated and it was not a pleasant experience for him. In response, BrewDog said that its pink IPA was sold to those identifying as women and was offered at a reduced price of 20% on the basis of this being the gender pay gap in the United Kingdom. Sarah Warman, BrewDog Global Head of Marketing, said at the time, "With Pink IPA, we are making a statement the only way we know how, with beer. The love of beer is not gendered, beer is universal. Beer is for everyone," which completely contradicts her own company's gendered and discriminatory approach to marketing their beer. If you think about it, there is beer for girls. It's called beer. Oh, and this is a photo of Sarah Warman. Now remember, this company is attacking stereotypes about women. For example, that they all like pink. Yet why do the woke set continually stereotype themselves? Blue hair, problem glasses, and facial piercings. It's the uniform of the woke. So the judge awarded Bauer damages of £1,000, and Bauer decided to donate equal amounts after costs to the Young Women's Trust, which aims to help women negotiate for better pay, and the Campaign Against Living Miserably, which runs a male suicide prevention line, among other things. Dr. Bauer said he does not deny the existence of the gender pay gap, but said there should be equal opportunities over equal outcome, which of course is a sensible position to take if you understand the basic concept of equality. I admire this guy's persistence in standing up for his principles. I think most people would have said, "Fuck you, I'm not buying this shitty beer from an overtly sexist company," and left it at that. So good on him for exposing the double standard. Now, back in 2018, when this whole incident took off, BrewDog made a 1-minute commercial, which you can still find on Vimeo. And here it is in all its wokery.
Punk's for men and pink's for women, right?
Wrong. Beer is for everyone.
We're tired of inequality.
We're tired of stereotypes.
We want equal rights, equal pay,
and an equal say in the world.
And to highlight that issue, we've done what we do best. We've made a beer.
We've made our flagship beer, Punk IPA, pink.
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 Pink IPA might look different on the outside,
But it's exactly the same on the inside.
Just like the female workforce.
It's our battle cry against the gender pay gap.
And we want to shout about it from Aberdeen
To Australia.
And that's why
We're putting our money where our mouth is.
The gender pay gap is 20%.
For 4 weeks, we're donating 20% of proceeds
From Punk IPA and Pink IPA.
To causes that fight inequality and support women.
Let's make a more equal world together.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers.
So the cynic in me would like to think this is simply a marketing ploy to grab attention, create some controversy, get people talking about their overpriced crappy beer. But given the ubiquitous embrace of the gender pay gap by social justice types, unfortunately most of the idiots in this ad probably believe the gender pay gap is actually a worthwhile issue. Now, I'm not going to debunk this idiotic talking point for the 10th or maybe 20th time on this channel. All I will say is that the gender pay gap is a context-free statistic that tells you absolutely nothing about whether men and women are being treated equally in the workplace with respect to pay. And how could it? It doesn't take into account any of the factors that would let you make that determination, such as hours worked, experience, and qualifications, just to name a few. Think of how arbitrary the gender pay gap is. We can divide society into all kinds of groups and measure the difference in what they earn. How about those that have a college degree and those that don't? The difference for millennials is about 50%. Where are the campaigns to close this gap? There aren't any, because most people recognise going to university and studying something worthwhile, i.e. in demand, gives you an advantage. And think about what a totally ineffective, blunt instrument the gender pay gap is in trying to make your point. If you're going to go full social justice, why not get intersectional about it? These numbers come from the US, but prove the point. Asian and white women both earn on average more than black and Hispanic men, so surely those women should be paying more than those men for a beer. Unfortunately for Asian men, they'll have to pay twice as much for a beer as Hispanic women. Then layer on top of that university education or any other number of factors. Maybe that's the future of woke retail. You walk into a shop, fill out a form detailing your race, gender, sexual orientation, level of education, and 50 other factors, and depending on your position in the victim hierarchy, that's the price you get. The sad thing is there's probably some small proportion of woke social justice psychos that are nodding their head in agreement right now, because that's the world they envisage. Thankfully, though, in the West, commerce still revolves around the market mechanism, and efforts to get woke often result in going broke. As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you next time.